Kathryn Olson, CEO of the Women's Sports Foundation. The Sports Foundation was founded back in 1974, so before many of you were born, by Billie Jean King. And hopefully you've had the opportunity to hear about Billie Jean King, but she was really an agent of social change. When she started playing tennis, and she is a tennis champion, women were not paid for playing on the tour where men were. So she knew that was not right and stepped off the tour and created a separate tour where women would be paid. The foundation was founded shortly thereafter, and we work to make sure that girls have the opportunity to play and make sure that Title IX is followed and there is compliance with that law. But we also do things that I think you would find especially relevant as well, and that's we go into underserved communities where young girls do not have the opportunity to play sports, where they don't have access to sport, and bring a curriculum in that is taught through the voice of our athletes. So Mia Hamm talks about overcoming shyness, and how when she got on the soccer field, she overcame that shyness and was truly to be able to be herself. And we have Layla Ali talk about what sports has meant to her and some of her life lessons. And we really just work with girls that don't have the access to sports like many girls do in suburban America today, and make sure that they have an opportunity to play as well.
Can you talk about any trends that you've seen in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 years?
Sure. I mean, one of the trends that I find, I guess, most alarming, and we'll talk about some positive trends as well, the trend that I find most alarming is really the health of our youth today. So if you look at our children in this country aged 2 to 19, 1/3 are either overweight or obese. And if you go in certain communities, for example, like Los Angeles, the numbers are even higher. And so that's really alarming. And so that's a trend that we want to make sure that we are trying to change. And one way to do that is obviously by girls and boys being as active as possible and eating healthy and having parks and things to play in. So that's a disturbing trend. I think one of the positive trends that I've seen has been the reaction to the women's national team. Hopefully all of you had the opportunity to watch those matches, particularly Brazil, France, and Japan. And I think it taught us a couple of lessons. First of all, that men and women, boys and girls, are all watching women's soccer. I mean, the viewership numbers were very high. There was a record set in terms of tweets per second. In fact, I was tweeting during the final game, and really the system was so slow you could hardly get your tweet in. So for those of you on Twitter, you know what I mean. But I think what it showed was, again, the viewership was there, but more importantly, the talent on that team was extraordinary. From Hope Solo to Alex Morgan, Abby Wambach, I mean, their play was extraordinary. The entire team was really extraordinary play. And even though they lost in the end, what it showed is that they fought till the end and never gave up, and that's really the American spirit. So it was wonderful for that demonstration. But also when they lost, they realized that in that loss there was something bigger happening with Japan. And Japan was really, as a country, on a comeback up on their own. And so they were really able to see that, and as disappointed as they were, they knew that it was really great for Japan and were able to celebrate with those girls and that country.